everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am Carolyn and I'm trying not to fall over. That's what I'm trying to do. I made the brilliant decision tonight to wear heels for the first time in almost 2 years, instantly regretting that decision. But in a much more real sense, I am here at the Grand Floridian. Can you see it? A little bit, the tree's in the way. Because Danny and I have a dining reservation. She is currently on her way over from work, so I'm gonna go hang out in the lobby and wait for her, but we are eating at Citricos tonight. Far fancier than our usual establishment. As much as I love Fantasyland, I do miss doing this every day. Wait, why are there construction walls? No, did they start it already? Oh no, the birdcage. Y'all, I'm so sad the birdcage is already gone. I don't know at what time you're watching this, but at the time that I'm filming this, Disney announced that they are redoing the lobby about a week ago. And they've already started. They're gonna be redoing the carpet and they're tearing down the birdcage for oh my gosh, what's it even called? A bar. They're tearing down the birdcage for a bar. Wow, why couldn't I think of that? Which makes me so sad. But it's already started. The construction walls are already up. Oh, I'm thoroughly disappointed. This makes me so sad. With that being said, I'm very happy that they are going to change the carpet. It's iconic, I know it. The rest of the resort has pretty Mary Poppins rug now, and the lobby still doesn't, so let's change it. Okay, we got seated. Here is our menu, and everybody welcome Danny back to the vlog. We know this is why you watch, even though we go 6 months in between Let's Eat with Danny and Carolyn. But let's eat with Danny and Carolyn.
An unrelated note, I'm obsessed with this butter knife. Do you think they'd notice if I took it home with me?
Gotta cheers! Ah! Okay, did I spill? I don't think I spilled.
I forget what's in this beverage, but it's called the Purple Penguin, and I like it. Maybe I'll do that thing where I pop up on the screen what we ordered, because I will not remember all the words.
Our bread, it looks very fancy, and this is number 2 installment of guava butter. Remember Sebastian's Bistro? Yeah, that was 6 months ago.
It's very crumbly bread.
Yeah.
Y'all, I like guava butter. My napkin. And the bread's still warm. I appreciate. But yeah, I like guava butter. More Disney restaurants should have it. Just saying.
Apologies, I'm still munching on bread. We did get appetizers. I guess they're not on the appetizer menu. They're on the enhancements menu. But I got truffles and pasta. We're going to split. And Danny got cauliflower, which Danny's gonna eat cauliflower, but we can split this one.
Sorry, I'm feeling so awkward right now because this is so fancy restaurant. So we'll give you honest reviews later. But it's giving the fanciest Alfredo ever. That's what it's giving.
Okay, we got our entrees. They be looking very fancy. This is a beef short rib. This is chicken. We're gonna taste test off of each. We'll come back to you later with the review because the restaurant's clearing out, and now I feel real awkward vlogging.
My short rib just fell right apart. Oh yeah. That's like butter. I don't know that I'm getting guava, but the meat itself, excellent. Now for Brussels sprout, mother, I'm very sorry. I like Brussels sprouts. Not bad. If Mary Pat does them better, now you know. My aunt makes better Brussels sprouts, in my opinion, than professional Disney chefs. But they're still solid Brussels sprouts. I say as I contemplate eating another.
We're done with dinner, but I just got weirdly excited that the elevator matches the rest of the resort, but not the lobby. Sad construction wall lobby. RIP birdcage. Why did we need another bar? Okay, we're walking back to the parking lot. My feet are about to fall off. Should not have worn heels. Oh, here's a garbage can. I can throw my receipt away. First time in 2 years. We'll talk to you back at the
hold on to the receipt so we can
Oh, never mind. I will keep the receipt. Danny says keep the receipt. We drove separately, so we will give you comprehensive reviews where did I park? There did I park. Oh, my brain is fried. Danny found her car before I did. No, Danny found my car before I did. That's embarrassing. Okay, we'll talk to you back at the apartment because we have some thoughts on dinner. The lighting's been genuinely terrible this whole time. I apologize. 9 o'clock dinner reservation. What are you gonna do about it? It's 10:30 at night.
It's way past 10:30 at night. It's almost 11.
Okay, it's 10:54 at night. I'm sorry. Our food reviews have gotten progressively less and less. They started out so strong, and as we do in every 6 months, they get less food reviewing.
We haven't gotten to it.
I know. I was looking. I filmed like 2 minutes at citricos, which it was fancy. I did feel awkward because it was very fancy. Fancier than I'm used to. Fancier than either of us are used to. I don't know. I enjoyed bread. Bread was good.
So, bread service, start with that because it's the first thing. Really.
Yeah. Whole wheat.
It was a wheat bread
and a ciabatta.
The wheat bread also had like a seeds. I think it was a seeded crust.
I feel like there were
seeded
pepitas.
pepitas.
Yes,
Definitely pepitas. There was also fennel seeds on it, so like some of the bites, if you had like just the crust, it was definitely fennel-y. That's
yes.
not, like, the best
No,
way to
I
put
know
it.
exactly what you're talking about. I just don't have the brain cells to
But it
articulate
was like pepitas and fennel seeds and sesame and something else that I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't want to say sunflower, but
No, I don't remember seeing any sunflower. I just remember seeing the green pepitas.
yeah. There was also a ciabatta with the guava butter and like a little flaky sea salt on top, which was nice.
It was more guava-y than Caribbean Beach's guava butter.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I feel like Caribbean Beach's was like, looking back on it, like a guava honey butter, whereas this was just like a guava butter.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not listed on the menu, so you'll just have to take our word for it that it was very guava-y. It was very guava-y.
It was good.
I did enjoy it.
The wheat bread was still pretty warm when it got to the table. The ciabatta wasn't as warm, but like it was still good. It was sliced ciabatta too, so that was.
It was much easier to eat and spread the butter on than the whole wheat bread. The whole wheat bread was like a loaf. It was
It was like
a loaf
it was halfway round, probably like
that they had then cut in half, but the chunks were still like.
we each got a quarter of the bread.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. No regrets. But it was hard to spread the butter due to that information.
It was a very crusty wheat bread, which was nice. It's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
When you squish it, the crust goes.
No, it was like that scene in Ratatouille where she squeezes the bread and then
Oh, symphony of crackle.
you know, where she's like teaching Linguini how to cook. Are you gonna tell me you've never seen Ratatouille?
I've seen Ratatouille, but I haven't seen it in a very long time. Like when that movie first came out. Like
We're gonna insert that clip here. Will I get copyrighted for it? Maybe.
Then we might not insert clip.
You know what clip I'm talking about, where she like squeezes the bread and like that's how you tell if it's good bread, not by how it smells, but by how it sounds. It sounds so pretentious right now. I'm talking about a rat movie.
We didn't get any of the actual appetizers on the menu.
No, we
Nothing was really. There were some things that sounded good, but I
We ordered side dishes as appetizers. Yep, I felt
truffles and pasta. That was your
that was.
enhancement / appetizer.
We kind of split the appetizers a little bit. I don't want to say the pasta was overcooked, but it was a real squishy pasta. Like it kind of dissolved.
It was house-made, so
There we go. That
might not have had the same dry time
as other
pasta.
I just wanted like a firmer noodle. That was really it was really just the most expensive like Alfredo I've ever had. It wasn't Alfredo, it was
It was
Parmesan?
parmesan, sunshine puree, parmesan foam, and truffle.
There were a couple slices of truffle in there. Yeah, it was just giving off really expensive Alfredo vibes.
It was creamy, had some little earthy notes, but it wasn't anything spectacular.
It was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. Would I order it again? Probably not. I don't regret ordering it, but I don't need it again in the future. I think that's the biggest takeaway from appetizers. I'm sorry, enhancements.
I got the smoked cauliflower. It was fine. It's one of those.
Both of them.
They were middle of the road. I wouldn't say that.
I don't know what I was
spectacular.
expecting.
I feel like it needed a creamy element and something just like a little more acid to it.
I will say a big theme of the night was things kept saying that they had citrus, and the citrus was hit or miss.
You either got a bite with citrus or
There was no citrus.
With the smoked cauliflower, it has like a green curry. It says a chili crunch. I did not get any chili at that.
Oh, I don't know that I got chili, but it definitely had a heat.
And then it says a citrus creme fresh. But once again.
Oh, see, I did get a couple citrusy bites, but it wasn't consistent.
Yeah. I think the citrus creme fresh was the
white sauce?
The white sauce at the
There was this mystery white sauce. That was the theme of the night, was there were a lot of mystery sauces that we were like, I'm not mad about it.
To be fair, it's not that they were completely mystery.
We just couldn't tell what they were. So.
It was fine. There wasn't anything that particularly stood out from the dish. Improvements, I don't know. I feel like there's adjustments that could be made to that, but I don't know what they are off the top of my head. Maybe another hit of acid somewhere and just make it a little more punchy. But yeah, everything was just, I don't know. I felt like
I enjoyed the entree better than the appetizer.
Yeah, I felt like most of it was just toned down compared to what they wanted it to be.
I agree with that.
Like the potential is here, and it's like it's not
like
there
I said, both of them were fine. Like I enjoyed both, but I don't need them in the future.
Yeah.
Entrees, however, my short rib was good.
Disney does a good short rib. I'll say that. So
I have not had a short rib since my Georgia dinner. I made a mean short rib. Insert chef picture here.
So you got the guava barbecued short rib.
I did not taste guava.
I tasted it in the sauce, but it wasn't like a very strong guava. Had cheddar grits,
They were
poblano
very
sauce, cruditos slaw, and Brussels sprouts.
I enjoyed the Brussels sprouts, although I wanted them to be crunchier. One of them was like really crunchy, and there were only 3 Brussels sprouts. One of them was really crunchy, and then the other 2 were like less crunchy, and I was kind of sad by the other 2 that were less crunchy.
I had to go for a softer Brussels sprout than a crunchy Brussels sprout. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm not really a fan of slaw.
I had a bite of the grits. They were very cheesy. I don't love cheese, so I'm not the best judge of grits, but they were very creamy. And then I did not eat the slaw because I don't eat slaw, but Danny ate slaw.
Slaw was good. It was more vinegary than what I was anticipating for the slaw, which is actually really nice because, like I was saying, with the enhancements, they needed like some bit of acidity, so I could find that in the slaw, which was really good. I didn't think the grits were as cheesy as you thought they were, but I
just don't like cheese, so anything that has.
When I tasted a bit of the grits, I did get a good swoop of the poblano.
I did enjoy the poblano,
so I think that kind of helped with the
It was very good. For most of the meal, it was mystery green sauce, and only after I was mostly done did I look it up, and I enjoyed the poblano, but it was very good. was very good. Would get the short rib again. That being said, it was only about yay big. It was.
I'm trying to think of like a good size comparison.
That's what I'm like. Fancy food always comes in those comically small portions.
It wasn't even comically.
No,
I'd say it was
but-
like.
Considering we love ourselves and all you care to eat, this was not that.
It was about this size. So this isn't gonna make any sense unless like we pan over to it later or like an insert clip here happens. But over by our TV, we have a little like
Not the dumpster!
crocheted dumpster
We'll insert a
fire,
picture of the dumpster fire here.
and it was about that size.
I would agree. Now that I'm staring at it, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
It's the size of the emotional support dumpster fire.
It's a really cute dumpster fire, so like it's okay. It will make
Well-
a lot of sense later on.
Y'all have seen it. I've definitely inserted the clip by now. If not, I'll insert it here. We'll snake it in there
It'll just be a
somewhere.
little pop up here.
It's like yay big.
But yeah, it was
It's like the size of a brownie, like a chunky brownie. It's taller than a brownie, but it has the same like.
it all depends on how
Have the same, like,
how
cube
you
as
cut
a
the
brownie.
We're tired.
can't do these.
I worked a full shift.
I know you did. I did not. Correction. I took my last final exam.
Yep.
And then I did nothing.
Which is why we went to dinner tonight.
Correct. Because your girl went back to school for a semester. Now I have 2 weeks off before I go back to school again.
Yep.
That was the short rib.
Oh,
Okay.
all the
Yep.
sugar. We also got the roulade of chicken, cooked very well.
It was a very moist chicken.
Could have used a little extra sauce on it.
I had no sauce on the chicken that I consumed.
It's funny because I thought I had given you a piece with.
Oh, I didn't mind it without the sauce. I just had no sauce.
Juicy piece of chicken. Surprisingly, sometimes roulades can dry out a lot, but this one was actually cooked very well. The charred cream corn.
We did not figure out it was cream corn until it was
It
gone.
didn't taste like cream corn.
It did not look like cream corn.
There was no pieces of corn to be found in it, so which is why we didn't think it was cream corn. But it was the only option of what it could have been. The orange glazed hush puppies. Very good.
It's like a cornbread donut hole.
I'd never thought about putting like a glaze on
That's what-
hush puppy.
That's what made me think donut hole was
Yeah.
specifically the glaze. But also now that I say it out loud, and I did say it at dinner, all hush puppies are just cornbread donut holes.
They're very spherical.
They were little. They were like the size of a gumball. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
They were teeny.
There was sauce that was the Chardonnay mushroom chicken jus. That was over the.
I thought it was the creamed corn for a minute.
I thought it was too. That's why I was confused by it.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the sauce that glazed the chicken, which was really nice, and just like a finishing sauce. And then had seasonal vegetables. This time it was like, honest, I think it was like a mini summer squash. Like it was tiny. And then there was also a couple pieces of mushroom on it.
We were hoping for green beans. It was not green beans.
Not. I do like a good squash though, so I wasn't opposed to it.
Oh, but I feel like it's
The
the
first-
squash season.
I think it's starting to get there. It's not there quite yet. The first 3 pieces of it that I had, very good. The last piece that I had, bitter aftertaste. I was
Of
surprised.
the chicken or of the
No, of
seasonal
the- of
vegetable?
the
The seasonal vegetable. There we go.
Yeah.
We didn't get a dessert.
No dessert. Drinks.
Oh yes, we got mocktails. Because alcohol's expensive and we spent that money on enhancements. Learn from our mistake. Is it time?
It's gonna be past the kids, but I just wanted to take a quick look at the kids menu.
Oh no, the kid that was sitting next to us got a pizza,
Yeah,
and then his
thank you.
mom ate 3/4 of it.
That's hilarious, actually. It just says shrimp.
That's so sad. Oh, there's my beverage that I got for the sole reason it was called a purple penguin. But it had pineapple, mango, guava, lemon, lavender, grenadine, house-made seltzer. It was definitely primarily lavender with maybe, I don't know that I could differentiate the pineapple, mango, guava, or lemon. but there was a little bit of like fruity in there, but it was primarily lavender, 0 grenadine. I got no notes of grenadine, but it was very house-made seltzery. There were a lot of bubbles in there. It also wasn't purple.
It was just a very.
It was barely purple.
It was more pinky purple.
Mm-hmm.
I think if it had been in a different glass, you would have.
I would have noticed it better, but it was a very subtle purple.
Yeah. I got the Paradise Punch. It was sugar. It's literally reading it off the list here. It says melted sugar, Caribbean spices, strawberry, vanilla bean, orgeat, cranberry, and citrus. The primary notes that I got was strawberry, little bit of vanilla. I surprisingly didn't really get any of the orgeat or the Caribbean spices. Maybe a tiny bit of cranberry and some citrus, but most you just tasted like a fresh strawberry soda kind of a thing. Not bad, just not
What you were expecting.
what I was expecting. Because typically drinks that have vanilla, like a vanilla syrup in them,
Very vanilla.
very vanilla forward. So like I was pleasantly surprised that it wasn't as vanilla forward as it could have been, but
It's like the Enchanted Rose next door. It's that one, the like vanilla lemonade.
Yes.
What's it called? We'll insert it here when we figure out what
Yeah.
it's called. But it's
It's called
lemonade and
lemonade.
vanilla. And does it have lavender? Because whenever I'm just thinking of the lavender fog, which is straight
yeah.
diesel fuel. If y'all like the taste of gin, go to the Enchanted Rose and get the lavender fog. I did that once, and
I'm quickly looking it up.
they do have a very small lounge. It appeared to be about 6 seats. And they did have a bar. So hypothetically, you could get a seat at the bar and probably get some of the appetizers and enhancements without having a reservation. That being said, it wasn't necessarily hard to get a reservation. I think I made it about a week ago on an impulse, and they had very many time slots available. So do with that information what you will.
The rosemary cooler.
There we go.
Rosemary cooler over at Enchanted Rose is lemonade, vanilla, and rosemary.
Despite what that says, it's very vanilla.
Very vanilla forward. It's very good.
It's very good. I do enjoy it. I get none of the rosemary and a lot of vanilla.
But it's same thing. Very strawberry forward, not as much vanilla, which is what I was surprised by. Just because I'm used to like that vanilla note carrying so strong throughout the drink with the. Just looked at the name and now I don't remember. Rosemary cooler. Like I said, type.
It's
very.
Yes, it's 11 at night. I don't know. I think my biggest thought was I enjoyed it. I don't know that I need to make a reservation again. I did it, checked it off the list. Was it bad? Not for me. Not even like not for me. There are other restaurants I prefer better. There we go.
I think I would go back to try some other options. There were some of the appetizers that were interesting.
Actual appetizers.
Yeah.
Not we must clarify.
There was like a duck pot sticker, and there was a citrus hamachi that I wanted to try, but I opted to not do those this time.
I would definitely get the short rib again. I was disappointed in the sides, but that's just on me and my palate.
Yeah.
That's just on me.
I think the short rib is a well-balanced dish because you have creamy, you have some acid, you have the short rib
If they
itself,
just
which
replaced the
cooks
grits
well.
with mashed potatoes, I would be.
We'll also make note that there's probably an option to swap out
Yes.
that side, but Carolyn doesn't like to ask.
I don't like to be a bother, because I know.
It's one of those things where it doesn't really matter.
I know it doesn't matter, but like I know.
It's like you're paying for the food.
Yes.
get something you like.
Key takeaways from citricos?
Key takeaways from citricos.
I always heard it was supposed to be Mediterranean inspired. I did not find that.
I think they changed the menu
I know that
very recently.
when they made it. Oh yeah, it's Mary Poppins themed. I documented none of that. I'm so sorry. It's Mary Poppins themed now. The chandeliers look like umbrellas. I had a little bit of a freak out when I saw a Mary Poppins umbrella in a coat rack. Yes, but it was on the completely wrong side of the restaurant, and unlike our time at Skipper Canteen, where literally documented almost every single book on the bookshelf, they were closing, and I didn't want to. But yeah, it's Mary Poppins themed, so I enjoyed that. Pastel color palette, but whenever they've made it Mary Poppins themed, I do know that they changed the menu, but I still thought it was Mediterranean inspired.
No, so every so often Disney menus do get refreshers, or revisions are made. So I think they made revisions fairly recently. I don't know how long ago.
I'll have to consult Disney people. See if they documented these changes.
But I do think they the roulade of chicken has always been there. Like that's still the same. But I do think some of like the appetizers have changed. I feel like some of those enhancements might have changed.
I feel like the hush puppies were
Different.
maybe not always there.
Yeah. But I do know it was like a chicken roulade of some kind before.
I don't know, it was definitely a very citrus menu.
Mm-hmm.
Did we actually get citrus?
Not so much,
But just about everything on the menu lists a citrus.
Yeah.
Or just straight up says citrus. So, are you supposed to be Florida? Do you think it's supposed to be like a Florida menu?
And by default, you can also add Mississippi, Louisiana.
I know.
All
I'm
like
just
that.
thinking
Like,
of my braised beef short rib with bourbon sweet tea. Demi-glace. Anyhow, we're getting off topic.
I'm tired.
Have we been on topic? I'm fairly certain I got 2 minutes of content at Citricos and / the Grand Floridian. I apologize. She's under construction and quite ugly right now, which I can't believe I'm saying.
Just
Grand Floridian.
It's okay.
She is. I need that carpet to go, and for them, they're already halfway tore down the birdcage. But put it back up and close the bar. I know they're not. It's already halfway gone. But like, are we keeping the Enchanted Rose and this new bar?
Yes.
With the with evidently the Citricos Lounge, and does our Koozies have a lounge? And then our
Citricos doesn't really have a lounge. There's like a waiting area, but it's not a lounge.
But on the thing, it says Citricos Lounge. There's Citricos and Citricos Lounge on the My Disney Experience app. I'm guessing it had to be the bar stools and then maybe like 6 seats. I'm not talking not out in that weird little rotunda. Would you share a check-in spot with Victoria and Albert's?
Because they're not open the same days.
I don't know. Well, no, there were people in there tonight. I got nosy on their way out and I stuck my nose up on the glass like a kid in candy
Anyhow.
store. I apologize if anybody was at Victoria and Albert's tonight and saw me stick my nose on the glass. I literally looked like that scene from A Christmas Story. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? I don't know how many of these clips I can insert
I think you're kind of done.
without getting copyrighted. My wife's playing this game again. We're done.
That's the end of that food adventure.
There we go. Okay, maybe we'll try it. I know I said this at Sebastian's Bistro. Maybe we'll try and be better and do this more. But we don't work the same days off anymore, so it's hard. We have to commit to 9 o'clock dinners, which is not ideal. But Disney has lots of them, which is weird. But they exist. So do with this information what you will. I apologize.
That was just a circle statement of we don't know the next time Danny's visiting and popping up in Carolyn's vlog again as to eat food.
Hopefully it's at Universal.
Who knows?
Hopefully it's at Universal. That's all I'm gonna say on that matter. Hopefully it's at Universal. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Okay.
Have a good
Have
one.
a nice night.